Hello students, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll do a vocabulary in context drill, which will help you for the reading section of the SAT and ACT. This is the fourth such drill that we are doing on the channel. I'll link to the playlist that contains these drills in the description box, so make sure that you check out the other drills. Question 1. Going past my door, my father cushions his tread, walking on tiptoe, careful not to disturb me. So here we have a scene where the son or the daughter is describing the father going past their door and cushioning his tread. Tread is walk. So he's cushioning his tread. He is trying to make as little sound as possible, walking on tiptoe, careful not to disturb me. Now, if I look at the option that comes closest to making as little sound as possible is soften, right? To soften his tread is to indicate that the father was careful not to disturb the speaker, right? So that's a good option. Relieve, you can't really relieve your tread, right? Relief is used in the sense of experiencing some sort of relief, as in, I was relieved to hear the good news, right? So that cannot be used in the context of making small sounds or making as little sound as possible. Diminish, again, does not fit the context. To diminish is to reduce in value or to bring something down from where it was earlier. So that doesn't make sense here. And lessen also doesn't make sense in the context of softening or the reduction of a sound or being soft while walking, right? So the best answer is option C. Okay, question 2. Childhood to me was a time of waiting for my as yet unfashioned world, scanning the future like soldiers in the field, watching for what was to come. So here the narrator speaks of his childhood as a time of waiting for something that was yet to come, my as yet unfashioned world. So the narrator describes the future as something which would be complete, which would be full, and something that he could not imagine yet as a child. He would scan the future like soldiers in the field, not knowing what was to come, watching for what was to come. The writer uses unfashioned in the above sentence to imply that he could not yet imagine the world of his adulthood. That's a good answer because the unfashioned world here means the unconstructed world, the undeveloped world, the world of my adulthood that was yet to form. So he could not yet imagine that world. So that's a good answer. He could not yet know the dressing style he would adopt in future. So unfashioned here has nothing to do with fashion in the traditional sense of, how one dresses. So this is not correct. That he could not yet grasp that he would join the army. The comparison with soldiers in the field is merely for effect, right? That's a comparison, that's a simile to say that just as soldiers on the field do not know what to expect, as a child, I also was not sure what my adulthood would look like. So C doesn't make sense. He could not yet understand that he would perpetually wait for adulthood. There is nothing in the sentence to indicate that he would perpetually wait for adulthood. To perpetually wait is to wait forever, wait without stop, right? So that doesn't make sense. So option A is the best answer. Okay, question 3. At last, the doctor put down his pen, but was still disinclined to speak, giving the earnest impression of not knowing where to begin or how. There was something studied about this hesitancy, as though he had mastered it over hundreds of patient visits. So here the narrator speaks of a visit to the doctor, and the doctor seems to have made a diagnosis, and he has not yet shared the diagnosis with the patient, with the narrator. So the scene is that the doctor has put down his pen but has not spoken yet. And it seems to the narrator that looking at the doctor, the narrator could sense that the doctor wasn't sure what to say or how to say it, right? So there was a sense of hesitancy. But then the narrator says that there was something studied about this hesitancy. It wasn't natural. It wasn't something that was organic. It seemed that the doctor was putting on a kind of act, as though he had mastered it over hundreds of patient visits. So, as I said in an earlier video, that for any question or vocabulary in context, you should first try and think of a word that you would use in the context of that sentence, right? What is a good word that you think can replace it? So I would say there was something unnatural, there was something inorganic about the way he behaved, about his hesitancy, right? So what is a good replacement for these words? Academic, that doesn't make any sense because we are not talking about academic versus non-academic here. Deliberate. Deliberate indicates something which is done for purpose, right? Something which is done for with a certain aim in mind. So I'll keep this for now and I'll see if there's a better option. Natural. So obviously I'm looking for unnatural. I'm looking for the opposite of this. So it can't be C. And futile. Futile is something that doesn't serve any purpose, something that's kind of wasted and that doesn't fit the context. So the best answer here would be deliberate. There was something deliberate. There was something studied. There was something not quite organic about the doctor's hesitancy. Okay. Question 4. There was open land to my right, flat and undistinguished, with not a house or hovel in sight, and to my left, a deep line of trees bordering the road. So here the narrator is describing a scene, right? He is on a road, he's traveling on a road, and to his right, he can see open land, which is flat and undistinguished, with not a house or hovel in sight. There is nothing there, right? There is no construction, there is no growth, there is no greenery, there's nothing on the right. And to his left, there is a line of trees that borders the road. Now, I need to choose the best option for undistinguished, and my options are average, ordinary, featureless, and uneventful. Now, remember that I'm saying this for land, right? And I'm saying that the land was flat and undistinguished with not a house or hovel in sight, which means that there was nothing to distinguish the land. It was completely plain. There was no feature, there was no activity there. So I like featureless in the context of what I'm saying, right? In the context of the land being undistinguished. Okay, what about average? Average is fine, but average does not convey the sense of the land being barren, the land not having any growth, not having any establishment, any habitation, right? So that sense of no house or hovel, this is the context, right, that I have to pay attention to. That sense of nothing on the land is not captured by average. It is also not captured by ordinary, because ordinary is something which is the usual, right? But I'm not just saying that the land is the usual piece of land. I'm saying that it was undistinguished. I could not make out anything that could distinguish this land from any other land because of the fact that there was nothing on it. So featureless, right? And uneventful cannot really be used for land, right? Uneventful can be used for an occasion, for a party, for a meeting where nothing much happened, but not for land. So the best answer is option C. Question 5. The author argues that censorship does not work. The ideas animating suppressed speech remain in circulation, and in the end can become more effective for being forbidden. The speaker is talking about an author who says that censorship of any idea, censorship of any speech doesn't really work, because if you suppress speech, then you only suppress the speech. You can't really suppress the ideas behind that speech, right? The ideas that influenced that speech, the ideas that made up that speech. You can't really suppress those. And those ideas, they remain in circulation and they become more effective because they are forbidden, right? They go underground and they achieve or they get this greater power because they are forbidden. So I need a word that could mean the ideas influencing uh, suppressed speech, the ideas that make up suppressed speech, something like that. And I have informing, welcoming, advising, and supporting. Now, one meaning of informing is to influence, right? For example, religion informs every aspect of our lives, right? Religion influences, it pervades every aspect of our lives. So this is not the usual meaning of inform, the usual meaning of inform being to inform someone of something, right? To tell someone of something. But here, the other meaning of inform, that is to influence something, is being used. So I actually like informing because it can be used in the context of influence. Okay, to welcome, to advise, or to support, they don't really fit the context of ideas and speech, right? Ideas cannot advise speech. Advising is done by one person for another person. It's a human activity, right? Ideas can't really support speech in the sense of what we are trying to say, right? I'm not saying the ideas supporting speech. I'm saying the ideas that make up that speech. They are essential to the speech. They don't just support it, but they are essential to it. They inform the speech. They pervade the speech. So this is a weak option. It doesn't convey the sense of essential nature of speech being made up by ideas, right? So D and C are out, and welcoming doesn't make sense also. So the best option is option A. So this was a quick drill on vocabulary and context questions. Hope it was useful. Hit like and subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comment section what other videos you'd like me to upload. I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.